I'm Ken, and you're watching Kilt Can Cook, the Scottish cooking channel that encourages young men and women to have confidence and competence they need to conquer the kitchen. Today, I'm finally giving you the recipe I promised you. Today we're finally making risotto rice using the special arborio rice that is going to take our recipe from here all the way up to here. Aye, that's right, it's going to take it from a boiled rice texture to a nice pudding flavour quality. It's amazing, it's delicious, it's unctuous, it's all manner unhealthy for you, and I think you are going to love it. So let's be about it, shall we?
Risotto. Well, whereas most cultures looked at rice as a way to use a bland starch to absorb flavour, one day an Italian decided, this rice is dull, it is quite bland. It tastes boring, this will not stand. It's me, Mario. Now, I learned about this dish through watching the TV show Chopped at American telly, and it wound up showing me that risotto, very complicated dish, very hard to pull off, so maybe we'll give it a shot, who knows. And through the use of a friend, I found out that there's a type of rice called arborio rice that's really, really good. And apparently in Italy, there are even more types of rice that are used in risotto because of the starch they give off, gives a pudding texture. So, well, we won't use those rice, but we will use the arborio rice because it's easy to find here. Now, we'll start by melting 4 tablespoons of butter in a pot. Yes, it was delicious, I didn't say it wouldn't kill you. In another pot, we'll heat up a couple tins of chicken broth. Now we're going to bring this to a simmer, not to a boil. Now get used to that phrase, so everything's going to be in a medium-low heat. As our butter melts, we're going to add an onion. We're going to slowly let this vegetable saute. Now, that's not going to be brown, so we're going to actually we're going to let it sweat, which means we're going to want it to get translucent. We'll add mushrooms too. And when it is translucent, we're going to add the rice. A cup of rice and stir it around so that butter coats all of that rice. We're just going to keep on stirring. We're going to let this sit for about 3 minutes on the cook. And we want to be very careful at this stage. We want the butter to get into the rice, but we're not going to burn the rice. If it starts to get a wee bit brown, turn the heat down. Much like if this pot starts to boil, we're going to turn it down because we want it to simmer. We don't want boiling. Alright, so now we're going to add a ladleful of broth, about ½ cup or so. And we'll put that in the rice and stir it up. Remember, this is at a medium-low temperature. Just like so. I want to take any time for that moisture to absorb into the rice, so we're going to add another ladleful and we're going to keep on stirring. Remember, we're using small amounts of liquid at a time. We're gradually cooking this rice at a time. We're gradually bringing out the starches so that it becomes a nice pudding texture. That's important. It's very difficult to get it right. Or I guess I should say, this dish is very simple, but it's not very easy. It's simple in that it doesn't require any knowledge of complex like chopping and dicing and grilling, but it's not easy in that it does require a lot of time and attention to detail. And if you don't get that attention to detail, well, you're going to miss out and it's not going to be good. You might even ask yourself, is it even really worth it? I mean, the recipe said it takes 20 minutes. Well, for me, it took at least 30 minutes. Well, this is a lot of effort to put into something. But if you're doing it for a person, or if you're just doing it for yourself, see if you can do it, then I think you'll find that the time you put into it is worth it. It's worth the time, it's worth the effort. We cook because we care, we didn't cook because it's easy. If we just wanted something easy, we'd eat nothing but top ramen. Aye? Maybe crack an egg into it, which is very tasty by the way, but it's not particularly healthy for you. It is filling, however. Well. Eventually we're going to have to test our rice to see if it's done. We want it to be firm but not undercooked. We want it to be soft but not mushy. And even if we have that pudding texture throughout, if the rice isn't cooked, then we need to keep adding water even if we've run out of broth. Remember, we want hot water, so bring it to a simmer, not a boil. And just keep on stirring, keep on stirring. Once that moisture absorbs, add that ladleful of water. Keep on stirring, keep on stirring. Get it nice and good. It's a delicate balance to achieve. I understand. Trust me. Well, at this point, you're basically adding just finishing liquid. You didn't need to do much more to get it ready. Now, if you've never had this before, it has a sort of feel in your mouth as though it's a rice pudding. And it tastes like a garlicky, buttery, mushroomy goodness. If you messed up, it's fine. Some expert can tell you in the comments that I'm an idiot. And if you feel better about yourself, knowing that you weren't the only one to mess up, then good on you. Because I can guarantee you, I made some mistakes along the way.
Well, that's our show. Hope you enjoyed yourself and hope you learned something. Specifically, I hope you learned that just because something is simple doesn't mean it's easy. Risotto is very simple. It's not that easy. As for the rest of this stuff, steak, green beans, mushrooms, well, I did those later. You can click the link right here if you want to see how I made the steak. You can click the link down in the description if you want to see the recipe for how I did the risotto. Just get the printed version. It's very good. I added the mushrooms myself, but I mean, you can figure that out. As for the rest of it, well, it's time to dig in now, isn't it? I'm Ken, and you're watching Kilt Can Cook, the Scottish cooking channel that encourages young men and women to have the confidence and competence they need to conquer the kitchen.